Hello everyone, Vitoz832 back with another edition of What's on Deck. And let's have a look. First of all, I want to mention this one coming June the 2nd at 2 p.m. Central Time to Kickstarter from Emmanuel Voltaire. His latest deck and the last one in his Ancient Deck series, the Greek Pottery deck. And really, if you're going to make decks based on ancient civilizations, Greek is going to be up there. And he's already done Japanese, Egyptian, and the Aztecs. So definitely looks pretty awesome. I will definitely check it out. June 2nd, 2 p.m. Central Time, Kickstarter. Next up, a bicycle, a couple of decks, a few decks, just a few, coming soon from Robert Tomlinson. He's got these two here, the Bicycle Maiden Midnight decks, so just maiden backs. Maiden back decks really is what they are. The Midnight Maidens. Maiden backs. One has black faces, as you can see, and the other one's just standard faces. He does have a project. Here you see the back design on the Maiden, right here, the Midnight Maiden decks. It's kind of a gold and black back design. Very simple, just kind of standard bicycles. And then there's these ones. Bicycle State playing cards. He plans on doing all 50 states. There's going to be 12 available, or 10 available in this project, I should say. First project is going to have those two maiden backs, and there's going to be all these decks. Bicycle Pennsylvania, Maryland, New Jersey, New York, South Carolina, North Carolina, West Virginia, Virginia, Georgia, and Florida. Each one is going to have faces similar to this, like a couple of other decks he's done. Storybook faces, basically, and information on famous people, monuments, historic places, etc., etc. on every card. It's a very ambitious goal, and I'm not sure how it's going to fare, because, I mean, it's okay to have a project where you have one or two decks and people won't get that, but when you have a project that has 12 decks in it, and then there'll be more with 10 decks, that's a big commitment from a lot of backers, and if the goal isn't too reasonable, it might be difficult achieving it. And with that many decks, it's going to be a pretty big goal, I would imagine. He hasn't even set that goal yet. And then, of course, there's just the overall commitment to 50 decks. That's a big amount of decks for a lot of people. Some people might just want to get, and might end up just getting, you know, this state or that state. Some people, though, like myself, would like to have the complete thing, and are going to want all the decks. So that's like $500 we're looking at. You know, if it's $10 each, $500. Plus, not including shipping. That is a lot of money. A lot of commitment. And I'm not sure what's going to happen with that. Moving along, though. There is this that David Blaine has been, or somebody's been showing off. It's a David Blaine ABC deck that he used, some kind of a promotional deck. Of course, various collectors are already salivating all over it. And for me, it's kind of like, you know, there's other things that are more worthwhile spending money than some supposedly rare, not rare deck, just because it's maybe harder to get, harder to come by. If you want to spend hundreds of dollars trying to get this one, countless hours stressing out and whatnot, fine, by all means. But I'm not going to stress over or obsess over getting a deck that is going to be next to impossible to get. Next up, I might have mentioned this one before, I don't remember. Cards of Legend from Fangamer.com. There is this new gold version available. Previously, there was red and blue, which are still available at $14 each. The gold one is $17 US for one, not to mention shipping. Or you can get one of each for only $36 US. That's a pretty good deal, considering it's just $14 and $17 for them individually. And if you haven't gotten any, you might want to get all three colors. I just got the gold one recently. I will review it soon. It's very nice, metallic ink all over it, the back design, the faces, the tuck case. And it's metallic gold and silver and copper red inks on that one deck. If you want to see a review, make sure you vote for it in the survey coming up a little bit later. And they are USPC produced as well, I should mention. Anyways, next up, coming soon from Card Experiment, a gold bicycle Asura. This looks pretty nice. But again, how many recolors are they going to do of the Asura and all their other decks? It just seems they're doing way too many recolors instead of focusing on doing something completely brand new. But, I mean, it is what it is. Moving along, lots to talk about from Illusionist. First of all, there's this. The Roadhouse deck, 016 Roadhouse apparently. It looks like it's vintage styled, and there was also something about it being casino. Yes. Here's another picture of it. And then there's more. Lots of recolors. Black Revolvers are being teased. Red Hustlers are being teased. Green Rounders are being teased. And Blue Dealers are being teased. I kind of hope that they don't release these all individually, just for the cost of shipping and whatnot. Just release them all at once, all these recolors. That way you can get, all 4 or 5 decks at the same time and not have to pay shipping 4 or 5 times unnecessarily. My biggest problem with this, especially in regards to the Green Rounders, much like with the Kings decks recently, is that they very clearly, very specifically told the entire world about a year ago when they released the White Rounders that that was going to be the very last, and I emphasize last, Rounders deck ever. And now there's another one. Why bother telling people it's going to be the last one, or that there's not going to be any more as a final chapter like they did with the Kings decks, and then release more versions? It just makes you out to be, it hurts the integrity of your company. It makes you out to be liars and dishonest and untrustworthy. I can no longer trust anything Illusionist says because they lie through their teeth all the time. They said, how many times now they said this is going to be the last one, or this is going to be the final chapter, there's not going to be any more. And then they release more and more and more. I look at the Kings decks. They said the Blood Kings was going to be the final chapter in the Kings deck. So it was going to be the last Kings deck. What did they do a couple months later? They released another version of the Blood Kings. Why? It's unnecessary. It's unneeded. It's just a different frickin' tuck case. And people are just so stupid to keep buying and buying and buying stuff like that too. I did not get those Blood Kings. I will never get those 2nd edition Blood Kings. I don't need them. And then there's how many times have they come back and said, oh look, we found more decks in our warehouse. How did you just mysteriously find more decks in the warehouse? That's just bullshit and a lie, outright lie. And just so many things. Gold Arcane uncut sheets and the Red Arcanes and all this crap. Oh, we're not going to produce any more Red Artifice decks. Well, then all of a sudden they produced mini Red Artifice decks. It's just bullshit all around. And they could avoid all this bitching and groaning that I'm doing, and I apologize for bitching and groaning about it and complaining about it. They could avoid this completely if they did not say this is going to be the last Rounders, or a final chapter of the Kings, or this or that, or no more ever. Just don't say it's going to be the last one ever, and then you won't turn into a liar. It's that simple. I don't see why they overcomplicate things. Moving along, Fury 11 has a new deck, and it's another Monarchs deck. It is a black and silver Monarchs deck, which is fine. I don't mind that, and it's apparently the Now You See Me 2 special edition. Apparently it's supposed to be limited. Of course, with Fury 11, they never tell you exactly what limited means, how many decks have been produced. They probably produced like the gold Monarchs they released a while back. They were giving away for free. Supposed to be super rare, the most limited deck ever, but they refused to tell or acknowledge how many were actually produced. And they just keep giving away more and more and more. For that, they obviously produced at least 1,000. Maybe they released or are going to release less than that to probably keep some for themselves. So that would be less than the Centurions. But they said it'd be the least amount ever. And that's not true because the original Monarch deck with the gold and blue backs, that one there's only 130 or so that are known to exist. That is the most limited and rare deck they will ever have. And they could, obviously, a lot of people aren't aware of that deck. They don't know about it, so they can get around it and say, oh, this one's the most limited and rare deck ever. But not really. Anyways, it's fine. It's black and silver. It looks very similar to the blue one. I expect to see it in the movie, obviously. I do look forward to checking it out. It is black, which is nice. Hopefully there won't be any more confusions on, or actually there will be more confusions actually, because there's lots of people on eBay who go, we got black Monarchs for sale, but they're not black, they're blue. And now there's going to be 2 different types of black decks available, which is not true. It's a blue and a black. Hopefully it'll end some confusion, but it'll probably create some as well. And finally, DanandDave.com is finito. It's gone, as you can see. They've put out this message and a link to a new website that's launched on Friday, artofmagic.com, which is somewhat underwhelming and disappointing. Art of Magic does not sell any gear or anything like that. It's all magic tricks. You can see they got street magic, close-ups, parlor tricks, cardistry, mentalism, sleight of hand. It's all magic and flourishing and cardistry, which is fine. It's absolutely fine. The biggest problem is apparently everything is just streaming, and I don't know if it's even downloadable. But for me personally, when I get something that's like that online, I like to be able to download it, put it on a thumb drive or a DVD so that I can get back to it later on and whenever I want, wherever I want, really, as opposed to just being able to access it online. And a lot of people actually like to get an actual physical DVD so you don't have to burn their own, and or a book. And in this case, it apparently is all non-shippable streaming content. I mean, it's fine, but still a little bit disappointing. Of course, if you want playing cards, you got their other website, artofplay.com. Artofplay.com, of course, has playing cards, games and puzzles, uncut sheets, and accessories. It's basically everything that they would ship to you. All the cases and bottle openers and keychains and other ridiculous merchandise. Stickers. They give you stickers free with every order, and they want you to pay $3 for a pack. Why on earth would you do that if they're giving them to you free? Because maybe it's getting dark here. Apparently it's getting cloudy. Maybe we'll get some rain after all. Anyway, that is that for this week. I apologize for excessive bitching and complaining, but there wouldn't be any bitching and complaining if illusionists just simply stopped lying and creating lies. Like I said, I have no issue with green rounders or blue dealers or red hustlers, and I think the colors are great. They're fine, even though it's a little bit excessive to keep reproducing more colors. And really, it's just an easy way for them to make money. Which is fine. They want to make money, and they need to make money to survive, and that's fine. I understand that. But there are other ways to make money instead of taking the easy road. But apparently, illusionist likes the easy road, not the other road. But anyways, at least we got one original deck coming, the Roadhouse deck, which should be Madison Faces, of course, unfortunately. But, you know, like I said, I have no problems with these recolors per se, aside from them being a little bit unnecessary. It's the fact that they told us there would be no more recolors, there would be no more rounders, there wasn't going to be any more King's decks, and then they produce more, and more, and more. Stop lying. It's that simple. See you next time. Don't forget to comment, rate, subscribe. Let me know what you think about all this, about Dan and Dave, and Art of Magic, about Illusionist. more Rounders, more Monarchs. Let me know. Comment, rate, subscribe. Don't forget to check out all my wonderful sponsors. Links and discount codes in the description box below. You should know them by now. I mention them in every video. I used to have this all memorized because I mention them in every video. But that is that. I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.